And now, streaming live from the sunny Southern California coast, this is Options Uncensored.
Hey everybody, I'm Steve. Welcome to Options Uncensored. We're making real option trades in real time together. Let's get right into it. First things first, make sure you have your brokerage account open so you can follow along. Have your YouTube video quality set as high as possible. That way you can read the numbers a whole lot easier. Have a calculator on hand so we can do some easy math. If you have a question or a stock you want to go over together live, leave it in the comments section below. And finally, remember, this is not financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes only. All right, we've got a very small portfolio right now. Let's check out our open positions. First up, we have a T-bill auction that's happening tomorrow, so just ignore that one. CCJ's down again today. We sold the 40 put for March expiration. It'll be fine. It'll be what it's going to be. The semiconductor short call spread making some money today. I think the semis are all down, and we got NVIDIA earnings tonight, so that should move the market one way or another, okay? All right, let's look at some new opportunities for today. First up, Palo Alto, PANW is the ticker, down big today, 26%. All right, so we'll be looking at the put side. Great support right here at, let's call 266 or so. And we're approaching the 200-day. So you can definitely make the case for selling the put side here. All new contracts are April expiration. If you sold the 230, lots of volume at the 230. That makes sense. Sell 230 if you want to do the spread, buy the 220. Let's do the math. 303 minus 179 divided by 2 divided by 1,000. That's 6.2%. I'd take that. There's the 230 on the chart. 230 is right about here. That seems fair. We'll go ahead and do this one. This one's very, very good. 230 for April. All right, it's going to be $1,000 spread. Go to verticals. We'll set this at 10. So 134 divided by 2 divided by 1,000. Yeah, 6.7%. All right, we're going to sell the 230 and buy the 220. Liquidity is okay, but this is a $270 stock, so this is as good as you're going to get here. I'm going to sell one April 230 put and buy one April 220 put. Credit will go for, I saw 133, so let's go for 133. If it gets filled, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. Let's preview this. Double check your ticket. Sell one April 230 put to open and buy one April 220 put to open. Receive a credit of $133. Go ahead and send that one out. It's going to hang tight here. Cool. Let's also see if there's any ping action on the other one. So let's look at CrowdStrike CRWD. Down 10% today. Their earnings are March 5th. So we're going to have to hold on this one just because we're too close to earnings. But they're down solely because of Palo Alto's earnings. Cool. Let's also look at Zscaler, ZS. We've traded them before. 213. Their earnings are February 29th, so they are also too close to earnings to trade. But as you can see, these are both down just because of Palo Alto. No other reason. Since we're too close to earnings, we'll have to hold on tight. But this is a good one. I like this one. Doing the put spread on Palo Alto just because it's such a big stock. I don't want to have that much capital at risk. And if you get assigned the shares, that's $21,000 or something. $22,000. That's too much. Yeah, that's too much. So if you got a small account, $1,000 put spread makes sense here. Cool. Next up, FTNT. Down 6% today. Already rallying back. the news on this one. No news. I can't remember what it was. Earnings on May 5th, so we got some time here. Let's take a look at the chart. Good upward momentum. It's kind of stalled out and gone sideways here. It's kind of right in the middle, right at the 200 day. This is kind of directionally hard to call this one. Volatility is higher than normal, so that's good. On the put side, you'd have to sell 55. You get paid 55. This is all perfectly priced. That makes sense. On the call side, you'd have to sell the 75 and buy the 80. Spread's not that great. 47.65. I'd skip the call side. Put side's not so bad. Where's 55 on the chart? 55's right here. I'll get support right here at 54.50. This one's fairly priced and directionally challenged, so I'm going to stay away from this one. Next up, Teladoc, TDOC. I think this is post earnings, right? Whew, jeez Louise, down 23%. So this is different than Palo Alto. Let's take a look. The downward momentum on this stock is concerning. Okay. Versus Palo Alto, PANW. Let's take a look at the chart really quick. You've got upward momentum. So when you have a big drop like this and you still have upward momentum, that's okay. I can sleep at night. With Teladoc, you've got downward momentum. So I don't know if selling the put side here makes sense. You know what I'm saying? For example, if Walmart is down big after earnings and has upward momentum, you can sell puts all day long on Walmart. Teladoc has downward momentum and downward movement after earnings. This can continue downward. Oh, who knows? So I'd be careful with this one. Volatility's back to normal. On the put side, you have to sell the 1250. Oof. 1250 is right here. That seems I pass on this one. I would define it as too risky. I don't like this one. 1250, can it get there by April? For sure. What about the call side? The 20's too far out, and the 1750's too close, so skip the call side. Next up, Peloton, PTON. Forgot why they were in the news. Downgrade. Today's the 21st. No news here. I think they had a downgrade somewhere. Downward momentum on this one too. You may be able to sell the call side. Earnings for them are May the 2nd. So we got time to fill earnings. Higher than average implied volatility for the April expiration and across the curve from now until April expiration. Call side, you'd have to sell the 6. You get paid $11. Boring. Next. MPW. Earnings, right? Today before they open, not quite the move we're looking for. Red on the put side, red on the call side. That means that post earnings the move wasn't big enough to make it worth it. Put side, you have to go all the way out to the 2. You get paid $16 for selling the 2. A lot of volume there. That makes sense. On the call side, you'd have to sell $5.50 and buy the 7. I don't know if it's worth it though. I'd skip the call side. Next up, Solar Edge. God help us. What did we get? DG. Down 15.5%. Same thing. This is like what was it? Teledoc. We have downward momentum and a bad report. I don't know if you'd want to sell the put side on this one. Oof. All right, let's take a look. On the put side for April, you'd want to sell the 50 and definitely buy the 45. I wouldn't want to get assigned shares on this one. Let's do the math. 110 minus 58 divided by 2 divided by 500. 5.2%. Pass on that one. Call side. Selling 90. Sell 95 and buy 100. Don't sell 90. Too close. 203 minus 150 divided by 2 divided by 500. 5.3%. Let's skip this one. You're not going to get paid for it. Let's check out end phase just for the fun of it. ENPH. Their earnings are April 23rd. Got 2 months till then. Let's just pass. VRT. They were down a lot earlier. Earnings were today. Woohoo. Wow. Well, we missed the move on this one. At the open, you would have wanted to sell the put side. Support here at 55. That makes sense. Opened right up. Opened at 55.70, got down all the way to 50. Sorry, 55, and bounced off of it. This move has been made. But some great momentum to the upside. We have lower implied volatility now. So that makes these option prices less. And you can actually see it in here. Look, you've got red on the call side and red on the put side. That means this earnings move wasn't big enough. So now both sides, option sellers are the winners here. Next up, Kava. Post earnings, I believe. Nope. I wonder if they readjusted guidance this morning ahead of the quarter. That may have been what it was. Down 8% because of it. Maybe they pre-announced. Not a lot of chart data to work with here. But earnings are coming up in a week or so. Yeah, this expiration. So let's wait till after earnings, see what happens. If there's a big move either way, we'll see what's what. Okay, so hold on tight for this one. CRISPR Therapeutics. I thought this was higher. Maybe it's already sold off. Earnings were yesterday after the close. Not that big of a movement. And it's probably going to show up in the option prices. Actually, there's some green on the call side. You'd have to sell the 105. And it's too illiquid. You've got a 200, 265 spread there. And you'd have to cover it with the the 110. And you've got like a 50-cent spread there. So too illiquid on this one. Interesting, though. Next up, EQT. Okay, got good liquidity here. Earnings are April 24th. I don't know what the news was today. Nat Gas is on the move. Maybe that's it. I'd actually rather buy this as a stock than mess around with the options. Put side, let's see. For April, if you sold the 31, you get 33. That seems fair. Volatility is normal on this one. Call side. You have to sell the 42 and buy the 45 maybe. You can get closer, sell the 41, buy the 44, 45. I don't know. 41 or 42. Here's the chart. 41's here. And 42's here. You have the ascending trend line here this way, so that makes sense. It's on the put side. You have a descending trend line here, so you'll get resistance around 42.71. Hence, selling the 42 makes sense. Although, this one's too tough. Pass on this one. Great liquidity, though. Great liquidity on both sides. This one's just too hard to pick right now. Maybe we can follow up. I don't know. Tough one. Let's move on. Home Depot. Will they get a downgrade today, maybe? Downgrade in HSBC. Price target raise at Morgan Stanley. Price target adjustment down from Goldman. A lot happening today. This is all post earnings. Earnings were yesterday, so it's fairly common within the following days to get upgrades and downgrades and price target adjustments. So this is not any shocking news, but it hasn't really moved the market on this one. There's probably nothing to do here. Let's take a look. Volatility-wise, nothing. You see how the solid line is lower than the dotted line? That means implied volatility is lower than the past 30 days average. And that makes sense for post-earnings. It hasn't really gone anywhere. Next up, Walgreens. Oh boy. Walgreens WBA. They're getting kicked out of the Dow. Is that what it is? Yeah. Well, they already have been kicked out. Obvious downward momentum on the chart. So any pop like we had back here, selling the call side makes sense. Earnings are March 28th, so we're a little over a month away. So we got some time. The put side, you get paid for it. You'd have to sell the 1750. These are relatively expensive. You're holding through earnings. You can pay 29 bucks. Let's go back to the chart and look at the monthly. The weekly. Where do we catch support on this one? Actually, right about here. If not, you break through. Next support is at 1875. Going back to 1998. Okay. So if we break low, next support is from the good old days of 1998, January. All right. So we have support at the Clinton era. Done. So that makes sense. We've got 1750 as the good strike to pick, and that makes sense. This thing, interesting is the word I'd use. Interesting. You could make the case for selling the put side here. This one's tough, but it's interesting. I like it. Let's move on. Uber. Uber is entering the Dow Transports. It's going to replace JetBlue, and that makes sense. Earnings are May 7th. We've got plenty of time. We do have a spike here for volatility post-earnings. Oh boy. So we got this big run up here. This could be a selling moment. Low. We have average volatility, so everything's probably fairly priced on this one. Let's just take a look. On the call side, for April, you'd have to sell. The 85 is too close, And the 90 is a little too far out to make it worth it. If you sold 85 and bought 90, let's do the math really quick. If you sold 85, what do you get? It's awfully close. 170 minus 88 divided by 2 divided by 500. Yeah, 8.2%. You're definitely getting paid for it, but just so you know, this 85 strike is awfully close. And if you sell the 90 and buy the 95, you're probably not going to get paid for it. 87 minus 42 divided by 2 divided by 500. Yeah, 4.5%. So what you really need is like an 83 strike or an 82 strike. That's what you'd want to sell. 85 on the chart. Oh man, the 85 is right here for April expiration. No way I'm taking that bet. If you sold the, even if you sold the 90, it's way too close. Skip the call side on this one. Even though it's tempting to sell the 85, you could definitely get paid 8% for it. You could get run over. Skip. Yeah, these numbers don't seem right. Put side, if you sold the 65, you get paid 64 bucks. A lot of open interest at the 65. And again, that makes sense. This is perfectly priced. $65, where is this? 65 is right about here. This too seems awfully close. Next up, GRMN. Up 12%. Wow, look at this. Post earnings. Oh, snap. I've been looking at... Hold on. My bad. I've been looking at the weekly chart. I should be looking at the daily chart. Here's your daily chart on Uber. This makes more sense. Sorry about that, guys. Oops-a-daisy. So back to Uber really quick. Here's the daily chart. So actually, we've missed selling the call side here. It's too late. Missed the move. What was the put side? 65. Still, it's too close. All right. Back to GRMN. Okay. Earnings were today before the open. Good dividend. Volatility? Not so much. I bet you this one's illiquid. Call side. Yeah, look at the call side. You'd have to sell the 150. You've got a 25.85 spread with zero volume today. Put side, you'd have to sell the 125. You get paid 75 bucks. Pass on this one. Okay, let's follow up on some ones we've been following. Newmont, they've got earnings when... Earnings are tomorrow before the open. So if we want to do a pre-earnings trade, not very common. We got support at 31 on Newmont. On the put side, you'd have to sell the 27.50. We pay 28 bucks. Let's wait till after earnings. You just don't get paid for it. Call side, you'd have to sell. Skip the call side. Hopefully this one's down big tomorrow, and we'll go ahead and sell the put side. It's just gone sideways since 2016. And that's okay. Got a 5% dividend. Yeah, post earnings, if this one's down, we'll go ahead and sell the put side. If it breaks below, good support at 28.50, 28. So there's strong support at 28 and at 31. Okie dokie. We'll follow up tomorrow. Next up, Twilio TWLO. What we're waiting for in this one. Down again. Looking for support at, what was it, 51.50? There could be a bounce actually at 54.50. Going back to here. What? No, still no downgrades. We're past earnings, so that's nice. The curve. Put side for April, you'd have to sell the 47. Low volume, but a lot of open interest. Sell 47 and buy 45. Starting the 42 onward, it's too liquid. So 47, 64. 64 minus 41 divided by 2 divided by, what, 200? 5.7%. That's not bad. It's not great. I'm going to take this one off the list, I think. Call side, if he sold 65 and bought 70. 105 minus 54 divided by 2 divided by 500, 5% there. 47 on the chart. $47's down here. This one still seems fair. $47. He's not getting paid for it. If I had to, gun to head, make a trade, I would sell the 47 and buy the 45. What do you get? 47. Hold on, let me look. Verticals, 2. 47, 45, 26 divided by 2, 26 divided by 2 divided by 200, 6.5% there, $13. I don't know. On the fence on this one. Let's skip it. Next up, Apple. AAPL looking for 163, is it? Well, not there today. Maybe it was 165? Or 183? I don't know. I can't read my own writing here. Earnings are May 2nd. That's fine. I don't think it's very high in volatility. It's a little bit above normal. The entire, across the curve, it's higher than normal, but not by much. Not by much at all. We need a big sell-off to make the volatility on this one go up. I'm going to take Apple off this list. Following up with Roku next. I think it's down today, right? Yeah. It's getting there. We tried to sell the put spread yesterday. Did not get filled. Kathy Wood's ARK Investment buys over 25 million of Roku. It sells Coinbase. That's interesting. I do like Roku. Traded it a bunch. On the put side for April, you'd have to sell the 50 and buy the 45. Son of a biscuit. This one, let's do the math. Probably not going to get paid for it. 75 minus 34. Divided by 2, divided by 500, 4%. Yikes. If you sold 55 and bought 50, 152 minus 74 divided by 2 divided by 500, 7.8% there. You need strikes between the 55 and 50. You need like a 52 strike to sell. $50 on the charts all the way down here. Let's wait one more day. If the sell-off continues, the 50 strike may make more sense. Okay, so hold on tight. One more day on Roku. Alcoa, looking at Alcoa 25. Not there yet. Actually, it's up today. We still have higher implied volatility across the curve, so that's good. We can still keep looking in on this one. Pass. Okay. What time are we at? 7:47. Sorry, 7:46. Let's take a look at our IV rank scanner and we'll sort by volume. SPY's still up there, 48% IV rank, and the Q's are at 49. Let's take a look at SPY. I'm surprised volatility is so heightened with such a small move down. It wouldn't even think about selling puts until 478 here from the support back here in January. It's way too early to be selling the put side, but they're probably being bid up. April, you'd want to sell the 470. Sell 470 by 465. What do you get? It's tight. 319 minus 267 divided by 2 divided by 500. 5%. Not worth it. Call side. Yeah, 520. A lot of volume there too. Sell the 520 and buy the 525. That's 218 minus 142. Probably got call skew here for sure. Yeah, 7.6% if you sold the call spread on the. That's 520 in the chart. Yeah, that seems fair. I wouldn't sell the call side for April here. Definitely get paid for it. Next, skip the Qs for now. Nvidia tonight, the IWM pass. Palo Alto. Jeepers. Oh no, we may have missed the move on this one. It's already moved. Let's take a look. Pan W. God bless it. Son of a gun. I'm not going to change this. I'm going to keep this order open. Unless there's a bigger sell-off, this probably won't get filled. Son of a gun. Alright, I don't want to chase it though. Next up, Apple we talked about. Palantir, we're already out. Down 4%. We're already out of Palantir. PLTR, maybe too early to sell the put side. Earnings aren't until May. We just had earnings. We sold the call spread here. We're out of it yesterday. Maybe too early to sell the call. Sorry, the put side. I'd have to wait for it to get down to like I don't know, 17. Maybe even 17.75. It's too early. Gotta wait for it to come back. And it's too late to sell the call side. You missed it. Baba, no. Baba's up 3% today. That's good. AMD, we're already in the semiconductor ETF. Meta, no. Marathon Digital, SMCI. HYG. Let's take a look at HYG. Why not? Okay. Put side, you need to sell 75. Ugh, look at all this open interest. That's crazy. A lot. 25,000 at the 73. What's that about? The 73 is way down here. What the hell? So, was this in one block today? 12? It's in 2 blocks. At 708, 1008 on the East Coast for $14, 12.5 thousand in 2 blocks. Someone institutionally. Why so far out? This strike is incredibly far out. What are they thinking? So obviously for volume like this, there's some institutional person doing this. Okay, so we got the 78 on the call side. Check this out. This is very interesting. 78 on the call side and 73 on the put side. So they're someone is selling the strangle. It's a interesting. What are they thinking? If you're selling the call at the money and selling the put far out. Actually, this doesn't make sense. So whoever institutionally is doing this is expecting downward movement, and I'd agree with that. No, wait a second. This is a tough one. Selling at the money call. Maybe they're selling the call at the money and buying the put far out. Illiquid right here too. 27.40 spread. Fascinating. What was the block on this one? Same thing in 2 blocks. Price at 28. So the thing was tough about this one, we don't know if the opening was a buying or selling. We don't know if this was buy to open or sell to open. Same thing on the put side. We don't know if it's buy to open or sell to open. You'll never know. Cool. The 78 and the 73. 78 on the call side. 73 on the put side. This one's cool. Moving on. Sorry, it's interesting. Moving on. Bank of America has earnings coming up in April. That's pretty far out, man. Intel, no. ARM's move is over. Don't sell the call side and don't sell the put side. Walmart earnings were yesterday. It's over. Coinbase, Kathy Woods is selling. down 5% because of it. Let's take a look. There's nothing to do here. Look at the trailing 12-month PEs, 1,651. That's funny. Put side April, you need to sell 115 and get 247. 247 on that side. And 730 on the call side. So you definitely get paid on the call side. 220 on the chart. 220 is right about here. That seems fair for April. This thing's probably fairly priced. Yeah, everything's normal. There's nothing extraordinary here. Okie dokie, moving on. I'm gonna stay away from China for now. Rivian, today after the close, that'll be fun. Let's take a look really quick. Not good. All right, so if post earnings there's a pop up, you definitely want to sell the call side. Man, this is tough. Actually, this is a tougher chart than it looks. Right, great support here at the 15 from back in January of 23. Support here, and this lower. If you believe in chart patterns, this is on the big scale on a reverse head and shoulders, which would imply a lot of upside here. Okay, upside. The 10. There's 10 on the chart. Yeah, this one's perfectly priced going into earnings. Interesting chart. I'm going to pass. We've traded Rivian before, though. Setup's a little different now. CrowdStrike we've already looked at. Teladoc we got. Vertiv got. Next page. Hold on GDX. Shopify. Let's take a look. We've traded Shopify many times. Got some upward momentum going here. Earnings are May 9th, so we're past that. Unusual options activity yesterday. There's a pullback to 71. Sell the put side. Today, 65 is a little close and the 60 is too far out. Lower than normal IV. Pass. Roku we already did. Transocean's too small. Too small. Soxel. Uranium ETF. Okay. We're already in CCJ. URA. Hopefully we catch a bounce here too. That'll help our CCJ short put. You can make the case just on the put side here. If you sold 24, you paid 30 bucks. Liquidity's not great, but open interest is fine. I'd pass on this one. If anything, I'd reopen a short put on CCJ. Zscaler, we already looked at. They've got earnings. Nike, January, February, March. Earnings are in March. Etsy today after the close. We'll follow up tomorrow. Lilly, too big. What is this one? A Spider Bloomberg Barclays Convertible Securities ETF. I don't know this one. CWB. Pass. JD? Nope. They must have earnings coming up. If the last one was November 15th, November, December, January, February. March the 7th. Yeah, we're too close to earnings. Next up. KRE? No. Walgreens we already looked at. Solar Edge we looked at. Block on the 22nd. Tomorrow after the close. Hold on tight. Chewy must be coming up with earnings. The last one's December 6th, so hold on that one. Enphase, that's a no. Micron, we already have the semiconductor ETF we're following. March 20th. Earnings are March 28th, so we got a little over a month here. A little early to sell the put side. You have to come down still more to, say, 75. Yeah, this semi-rally since October has gone too far. Needs to come down a bit more to sell the put side. And that'll help out our SMH down again today. This needs to come down, preferably, honestly. So we opened it here on January 18th. This needs to come back to the 176, and then I'd actually sell the put side. I'm short the call side right now, but I would sell the put side if it got down to 175 for sure. Good support here. Maybe some baby support here at 190. What's my strikes? I sold the 200 and bought the 205. So my spread is out of the money right now. It was partially in the money here. It's coming back. Again, this move is awfully overextended. It needs a good pullback. A better pullback than this so far. It still needs to come back more. And then I'm going to go ahead and sell the put side once we get there. Let's see what happens with NVIDIA today after the close. This may move this one tomorrow. I wonder what the top holdings are for the SMH. Hold on. I'm going to do a quick Google search. Top holdings on SMH. Top 3 holdings are NVIDIA, Taiwan Semi, and Avago/Broadcom. So if NVIDIA tanks, this will come down tomorrow. Top 10 holdings. So NVIDIA, Broadcom, ASML, Taiwan Semi. Okay. So let's hope for a big downward move in NVIDIA. A couple more, then we'll call it for today. Marvell, Micron, Snowflake on the 28th. American Airlines, no thank you. They were in the news this morning. I think they're raising their bag fees or something like that. Barrick Gold. Cheniere. Adobe, Salesforce coming up on the 28th. Cisco, nah. IBM. We got some time. We already looked at Depot, Fisker, too small. Newmont, we'll follow up tomorrow. We already looked at Fortinet. Cummins, too big. Wells Fargo, No. The XLF? Wonder why we're getting volatility in the banking sector. Anything else? Zim. No. No, 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 no. I think that's going to do it for today. So, Palo Alto, actually, it's coming back now again. So, see, I'm glad we didn't change this. The ask is now 136. Let's take a look. Pan W. Maybe liquidity is not. See, it's selling back off. So, it had a mini bounce, and now it's selling back off. Maybe we can change this. I'm going to modify this. If you're still watching, which I hope you are, I change this to 1... Spread is... change it to 136. Okay. So I'm going to change this. Was looking for a credit of 133. Now I'm going to change it to 136. Preview this. Double check the ticket always. Sell 1,230. Put to open. Buy 1,220. Put to open. Receive a credit now of 136. It's going to auto cancel this order, so don't worry about that, okay? So we'll send this one out. So it's canceled the first one, and now we got the new one at 136 open. Okay? So check it out. If this does get filled today, which now it might, good lesson there. I know it said this was moving back up. Never chase an open order, okay? You can modify it in your favor, but as you saw earlier in the show, this thing started to move up, so this became less valuable. Don't chase. So 136, if this does get filled, 136 divided by 2. Wow, 68. So set a buy to close, good till canceled, limit debit of $68, okay? I'm not going to change this the rest of the day, so don't worry. I've got other things to do. So if this sell-off continues during the day, this one could get filled. It's going to get some support here between 263 and 266. Okay? Cool. That'll do it for today. Thanks so much for watching. Tune in every morning at 7:15 a.m. on the West Coast and 10:15 a.m. on the East Coast. We go live every morning trading options. Also tell your friends to tune in as well. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Have a great Wednesday. We'll see you all tomorrow.